thanks for joining me today. Today is potato planting day in my garden. Back here in the vegetable area, we did strawberries a couple weeks ago. Sometimes I do my potatoes a little bit earlier, but I decided to wait till about the 1st of April here this year and see if we get a little different results. You can see I'm doing them in a raised area. I found these galvanized fire rings that work quite nicely. I'm able to control the water, control the soil that's in there. They are open bottom, so I've got great soil underneath that's built up over the years. But we're going to do a couple of them here. You can kind of see before I go, this is kind of the prep work here for planting. I've dug this one back out, put it in my wheelbarrow, and we'll put this back on top of the potatoes. I've already added my lime. We've got some compost in here, a little bit of earthworm castings. Lime's a great additive for anything vegetable oriented. Calcium's a great way to fight disease, but also sweeten the soil. These are not things that need acidic soil. Our typical soil right here is going to be acidic, so that lime will help keep it a little bit more neutral or alkaline. My potatoes will grow better and the rest. Now I started this a few days ago. You can see I've got them on cookie sheets here, but basically I go buy seed potatoes, I cut them, and this time I tried to leave them in the house for about 3 days and let them callus over. I'm thinking calloused over will help with a little bit of soil-borne disease. They're not quite so fresh, but I'm able to cut. Each piece has multiple eyes, and I will tend to sink these down into the soil about 6-8 inches, and then off they go. I'm going to plant some Satina, which is a great Yukon Gold substitute here for our local area. I've got some California White, a little bit more of a new potato. I'll keep a little smaller. And then I'm also doing some Chieftains, which is a little bit more of a russet potato. But I like my my Satinas, the Yukon Gold style. So I'm going to do one whole garden of those. This other one here I will split in half. We label them. We can have fun with them. My sons come out. You know, we're able to dig them up in the later summer here towards fall and harvest them. Typical seed potatoes aren't any different than maybe what you purchased at the store. They're still potatoes. They look like potatoes, but they've been organically certified to be disease-free. So when we buy a seed potato, you know you're starting clean versus saving maybe ones I had from last year and replanting them. I know each season I'm gonna have a little better luck with disease. So the first thing I'm gonna do, like I said, is plant some Satinas. We're gonna get tomato vegetable food put in here as well when we're done and water that in. And a lot of times I'll put a little compost as mulch over the entire garden. That'll help keep me the watering, keeps it a little tidy, keeps the weeds down, makes it very easy to do. I've got a spot here as we're in the evening after work. The sun over here in the west is coming through, but I do get great sun during the whole course of the day through the garden here. So this is more of a sun. We don't want to do potatoes in shade. And certainly I could follow the same process if I'm doing them in the ground. I'm going to dig up large areas, create rows, get them planted, and then off we go. I would expect with an average weather year here, I'm going to be about 3 months before I would be harvesting these potatoes. I'll frankly watch the foliage, and as they die off naturally here later in the summer, I'll know, okay, we're done producing, we're ready to go. Me and the sons will come out here, we'll dig these all up, throw them in the wheelbarrow, we get to sort through, find all our potatoes, bring them in, store them, eat them of course, and use them in the kitchen, and then I'm ready to go for the next year. The one thing you probably didn't see here was, like my strawberries I talked about a while back, I do leave a pretty good mulch cover from some of my Japanese maples in the garden. Nice clean mulch that I put over these gardens in the winter. Protects the soil, conserves a little bit of the nutrients and things, and make sure that I'm good to go for the next spring. So I could have used the same soil, which this is from last year, but again, adding fresh compost, a little bit of manure, some worm castings, all those extra organic goodies, I'm able to re-energize that same garden soil and use it season to season. If you were perhaps setting something up like this, especially above ground, we would go get a good raised bed mix, which is the basis for all these gardens originally. A good raised bed organic mix, drains well, it's got plenty of nutrients, and then I'm able to supplement that season to season to make sure the soil stays tidy. So here we go. You can see as I'm doing these, I'm going to place these about 6-8 inches down from the rim, and we're going to hopefully keep the eyes up, and we're going to space these out about 1 foot apart. So I don't want to put too many in here, they'll get crowded, I won't get as much potato. and I kind of want to maximize my crop. So like all gardening, it's trial and error over the years. So I learned a couple lessons every year, and I try to do a little bit differently. This is the first year I've cut them inside, and I'm trying to callus them over like this so that, again, hopefully we have a little better crop and we don't have any issues with disease. So I'm simply just spacing these out here in this garden about a foot apart or so, and we'll see how many we can get in here. Again, you'll see this mixture I'm putting back in. It's sure some soil that I had from last year that we've already cleaned and got the potatoes out of. But again, I've added some amendments in there, so I've kind of got my pre-made mix here ready to go. So I won't smash this down, but I just want to lightly get it firm. I'm not going to smash it so that it's compacted, but I do want to make sure this ring gets full so that I've got all the soil for the potatoes to grow in. So we're going to lightly tamp it. We'll keep adding some more here. Soil's looking great. We've got that garden filled up. We're going to get a little extra fertilizer on top here to kick off the season. You can see a nice organic tomato, vegetable type food, high in calcium, keeps the disease down. But I'm able to put a few handfuls of this around the surface. Then we will mulch over the top of this with some compost. That'll lock that fertilizer in. And again, hopefully keep a little bit of the weeds down. Cut down my watering bill in the summer. We always have a little mulch, always helps the plants. Now this is something I'll come back and reapply fertilizer probably one more time here, maybe end of May, early June. That should be plenty to get these potatoes into a nice crop. So we've got the fertilizer down, just about capped off on the top. I'm gonna grab my compost here. We'll do a little top ground. That is looking fabulous. I would expect to see some growth out here just a couple weeks. We'll start to see some foliage come up. We'll start watering here as we get warmer. We'll have a great potato crop here to enjoy later this summer as well. So I'll be stealing most of these satinas for me. A little olive oil, little hash browns in the morning. That's a great potato. We'll also have a nice variety. Mix it up a little bit. Try a few flavors. Fingerlings are really fun to grow. You'll always find some great sweet potato varieties at your local garden center to give a try. So appreciate you joining us. See you up in the nursery.